Welcome back to Adventures with Rosie. Another Rosie review today. We're going to look at the Orchid GPS tracker, this little beauty right here. We're going to install it in our caravan, do a bit of a review and see how it performs. Let's get into it. Well, if you're new to the channel, first off, welcome. And to get you up to speed, my wife and I and our 3 kids, we bought a Jayco Journey Caravan about a year ago now, with our plan to hit the road full-time this summer. So we're kind of 3 or 4 months away from hitting the road full-time. And with owning a caravan came obviously some security considerations. A while back we looked at hitch locks and we bought and installed a Saracen hitch lock, which has been really great. And I thought it's about time we installed a GPS chip in this caravan, because unfortunately in New Zealand caravans go missing all the time and are often not found, pretty much always not found. You know, they get taken into the bush somewhere or someone's farm or something and they're not recovered. So we spend a lot of money on the caravan. We need to spend a little bit more money on making sure we can track it, or the police can track it if it ever goes missing. So recently I saw on RSE's Instagram page, RSE is a company here in New Zealand, Rear Seat Entertainment I think they are. You've probably seen them at the motorhome shows if you've been to them here in New Zealand. They sell all sorts of things like you know, TV dishes and TVs, and they do full anything entertainment wise in a caravan or 12 volt wise they install. They started stocking the Orchids by a company called Black, and it's actually designed in New Zealand, I believe, designed and built in New Zealand, which is pretty cool. So RSE started stocking these, and I've picked myself up one and I thought we'll have a look at it. Let me just say before we begin, I'm not paid by RSE to promote this product. I bought this product, so this is just an honest review of what I think looks on paper like a really good product. We'll find out in the next few minutes, I suppose. The Orchid is New Zealand designed and made, which I quite like, and I think it's a really good price point as well, which we'll cover in a second. So that being said, let's have a look at the product itself. So this is the Orchid, tiny little device. This is 6mm thick. 35 millimeters long by 24 millimeters wide, so super small. You're not going to have trouble hiding this somewhere in your caravan. There's probably a huge application for these in like boats as well. You know, track your boat anywhere, horse floats, horse trucks, you know, anything I guess that someone could take and steal, right? It does have a little sticky antenna that is like a really sort of flat piece of some sort of plastic with a 3M sticky back on it, so you just stick that on the inside of wherever you're hiding the device. Now for power, this takes a 12 to 24 volt trickle charge, which is a feature I quite like. So if you've got a 12 volt system, you're covered, and if you've got a higher 24 volt system, then you're also covered. So I know our old Rosie, our bus, the original Rosie, she had 24 volts up the front. The crank batteries, the starter batteries for the bus, that system was 24 volts, and the leisure system in the back, the leisure battery and everything else was 12 volts. So we could install this either to run off the the back battery or the actual starter batteries of the bus itself. So if you've got a 24 volt system, you're covered as well. Trickle charge. Now there are 2 versions of this. There is the Orchid and the Orchid Plus, and the Plus is quite cool because it has a lithium ion battery in it, and that'll last for about 30 days off the power. So if for some reason your leisure battery goes flat or is disconnected by whoever steals your caravan, the Orchid Plus is going to stay online for about 30 days, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. Say if someone stole your caravan, parked it in the shed, your solar panels weren't charging your leisure battery, and the battery went flat, this is going to stay on for an extra 30 days. And you're going to be able to find it, which is the key thing. So worth spending a bit of extra money, I think, to get the Orchid Plus. All right, let's talk pricing. So the standard Orchid is going to set you back just $119 if you buy it from RSE. So I think that's quite affordable. You know, for less than 120 bucks, you can be up and running and tracking your vehicle. Yeah, pretty good. The Orchid Plus, which we've got right here, is $149, but it does have that additional battery. I mean, still less than 150 bucks for GPS tracking. pretty good. We went with the Orchid Plus just for the peace of mind of that battery. Now there are some subscription fees we should talk about. So when you buy the Orchid, your first year's fees are free. So first year of subscription fees are free. From then on out, you pay $1 per week to basically have your device registered and the chip tracking and working. So $52 a year it's going to cost you for that peace of mind in your vehicle. So yeah, it's a bit of extra money, but I mean $1 per week to track your vehicle, you know, that you love, that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Not so bad. So installation of this thing's pretty simple. It's got a red and a black wire, and then a little sticky antenna. So you stick that onto a flat surface. I guess the trick with installing a GPS chip in your vehicle is where to hide it. You obviously don't want someone to steal your Caravan, jump inside, see it stuck to the wall, and they snip the wires and rip it off. So I'm going to have a little think about where to hide this. I've got some ideas in the Caravan. Luckily, like I said, it's tiny, so you know, shouldn't be too hard to hide somewhere. Probably not going to show you guys where I hide it, just in case one of you is ever thinking of stealing this beautiful Caravan. So once we've hidden it and it's all powered up, we'll connect to the app on the old phone and see if we can track it. Alright, where to hide it? Well, it's been about a week now since I've had this little Orchid installed and running, and so far it's proving to be really good. I'm really happy with it. Haven't had any issues to date. For installation, what I basically did was crimp a couple of spade connectors onto the positive and negative wire. My thinking at the time was that maybe I need to plug it into the Caravan somewhere, and then I might need to remove it again, maybe for getting more shots for this video or for testing it out. But what I didn't realize, and what makes sense now that I think about it, is the Orchid Plus has that battery on the back, and that battery comes pre-charged. So I was actually able to activate the device at my computer, and then I put it in the car, and I took it down to a local cafe, and I got a coffee, and you know, I came back and looked on the old device and see where it was. So on the mobile, sorry. And it was kind of a cool little feature, I think, of the Plus. I could set it up, check it out, you know, test it all out before I installed it and hardwired into the Caravan. So it's been running. My only sort of gripe that I had, and it's not a gripe with the product or how you set it up, to be honest. It's just that I didn't read these little instructions properly. These are in the little tin. It's a little how-to guide, how to install and activate and locate your chip. You know, typical for me, I thought I knew better. Who needs the instructions? And one thing I didn't realize was the time it takes to register your asset for the first time. So what you basically do is you jump onto the Black International website and you create an account. And once you've created an account, you then register each GPS chip and then the asset that the chip is in. So you go in and you create a new asset like the Caravan. You can put all the details about the asset, like the year, the make, the model. You can put like a VIN number or a chassis number or a rego number or something like that. You can even upload a photo of your asset if you had multiple ones in there. And you enter the code. You can either scan the QR code or you can enter the long code that's on the aerial. It's printed on the aerial of the Orchid. And then you hit activate. Now what I didn't read in these little instructions, which I should have read to be honest, is that it can take up to 24 hours for that device to become active on the GSM network and reporting back. So I was sitting there going, what have I done wrong? I thought maybe I typed the number in wrong. I was like double checking, triple checking everything. I couldn't figure it out. I was getting a bit frustrated. It just wasn't showing as being activated. And then I had a read of these instructions, didn't I, and read that it can take up to 24 hours. I'm not sure why, to be honest. Maybe there's some human involvement in the back end to kind of validate that activation or something. I'm not too sure. But so what I did was just went to bed, and when I got up in the morning it was active and busy reporting back. So that was the only sort of hiccup, you could say, that I had, and it was just my fault for not reading the instructions. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good product. I think the price is really key for this. That I think all GPS trackers do the same thing ultimately, don't they? They report where your device is. Some are hardwired, some are battery powered. There are some good options on the market I've seen in the past. I've looked at ones that'll go 30 days on the battery, and they might be a device about this size that you just like Velcro under your bed or something, right? You don't need to hardwire it in, you don't need to muck around with that. But you do have to remember to charge it. That's the only downside. So I guess it depends how often you use your vehicle. I think the hardwiring in, it's not that hard at the end of the day. When you think of like a modern caravan, has sort of lights everywhere and all sorts of stuff everywhere, that there's no shortage of wires running through your caravan that you can't just jump off the back of. As long as it's a wire that is on all the time, right? Supplying power. You don't want to do it to a light switch. Or sometimes in the caravans like this one, you can isolate all the lights and the power inside, and only certain things stay on. So you obviously don't want it on one of those circuits. You park the caravan up in the storage or something, isolate the power, and switch your batteries off, and then expect the device to keep reporting back. So yeah, pretty cool product. Pretty impressed with it. If you are interested at all, I'll leave links down below. If this is your first time here, thanks for watching. We're a family of 5, like I said up the top. We make videos about our travel. I like these sort of review style videos as well. We do a bit of DIY. We've got a few things coming up around. We've got some modifications we're making to an external grey tank. Going to rip the microwave and the washing machine out in a coming video because we don't use either of them and we could use the space. And we're basically about to embark on a journey down to the South Island of New Zealand. We're going down there for hopefully most of summer and autumn until it gets too cold next year. So yeah, we're going to embark on that in a few months. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to subscribe and come along for the adventure. We'd love to have you in the Adventures with Rosie family. And thank you as always for watching. I'll see you in the next video.